So you just got your next marketing video, whether you created it yourself or you had it professionally done. Now what do you do with it? In this video, I'm gonna give you 15 ways to promote, distribute, and syndicate your video to make sure it gets viewed and gets results. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to Next Level Video Marketing, a channel where you get the latest tips and strategies to help you achieve your marketing and business goals through video. So the first place you can share your video is with your company and your personal networks. With your company, share it with your marketing teams, your sales teams, your customer service teams, customer experience teams. And to make it really easy for them to share, you write the post or write the email for them, share the actual link to the video or maybe the embed code, as well as the captions. Make it really super easy for them to share it, whether they just upload it or share the link. The second place you can share your video, which is pretty obvious, but sometimes I've seen people not do this, is actually sharing it on your website or embed it through your video hosting platform or upload it into YouTube and embed that code. And if you don't know how to embed the video on your website, ask your marketing teams or the developer who created your website. The third place you can share your videos are your email lists, whether your leads or your contacts. And instead of sending it to everyone in your list, maybe you can segment your email list to make sure your video reaches the most relevant people. So for number 4, a great place to promote your video is actually your email signature. Really simple, create a thumbnail and put it at the bottom of your email signature. So the fifth place where you can share your video are your social channels. But before you do, I recommend doing these 3 things. One is to create captions for your video, especially if you have voice or dialogue in them. There's a lot of different caption or transcription services. The one I use is called rev.com. It's about $1.25 per minute. The second thing that you need to do is create a thumbnail for your video, preferably less than 2 megabytes. And the third thing I recommend doing is creating different versions of your video to fit the different social channels. For example, you'd probably want a vertical version of your video for Instagram stories, a 1:1 or 4:5 or portrait style video for a regular Instagram post. I have a link below to know the exact sizes for the different social channels if you want to resize your videos. When you're posting your video onto these different channels, and I highly recommend you do it natively, and so instead of posting a link, actually upload the videos to these channels. Remember to tailor your posts so they fit how people consume the content on those channels. So for example, on Facebook, I'm in a lot of groups. Some things that you can do is make sure you engage in your groups before actually posting your content. On LinkedIn, remember that you have a 10-minute video maximum. Some of the things that have worked for me in the past is posting maybe 1 to 2 minute snippet of your video in LinkedIn and writing a really engaging post to encourage people to comment. Remember that the algorithms on Facebook and LinkedIn reward engagement in your videos and your content. So things like comments, likes, and shares. Make comments that are engaging and ask questions so you get some feedback, so you get that engagement, and therefore your video reaches more people on those channels. When posting on YouTube, don't expect to get views automatically just because you posted. Remember that YouTube is also a search engine, so you have to understand YouTube SEO from titles, tags, descriptions, as well as how the YouTube algorithm actually works. In the description below, I've linked to some great YouTubers who actually explain this very well, including Brian G. Johnson, Nick Nimmons, the guys at Video Influencers, Sunny Lenarduzzi, and more. On Instagram, remember you have Instagram posts and Instagram stories. For Instagram stories, remember you only have 15 seconds per story, but you can stitch together your video if it's not that long, say if it's a 2-minute video. For Instagram posts, remember that it has to be less than 1 minute and has to be less than 100 megabytes. So make sure when you are either editing your video or receiving it from your agency or a videographer, make sure to have them resize the videos to fit those individual social channels. If you don't have the resources or the time to actually resize your videos, you can use a program called Subtitles, where they actually resize the videos for you to fit the various social channels. So whether it's portrait or square or vertical, and they actually add a caption. And I'll leave the link in the description below as well. So there's obviously so many different other social channels like Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, I don't know if anybody uses Tumblr anymore. Just make sure to tailor your posts to fit how people consume content on those channels. And one more tip too is to tag all the people or all the influencers that have either participated in the video or that you want this video to reach. And if you're finding this video helpful, definitely appreciate you hitting that like button right now. The sixth method you can share your videos is on a place called Medium. Now, I love Medium because Google actually indexes Medium type contents. So whether you're uploading it onto your video hosting platform or uploading it into YouTube, you actually can embed the video onto Medium. Because Google ranks articles on Medium, you can actually do some on-page SEO work to help your content get ranked. You can actually write a short description and maybe do some work, do some research on an SEO title, include some keywords or some headings in your content piece, and then share it. So the number 7 way to share and promote your video is through Quora. Quora is a question and answer site, and it's a great way to find questions that your videos can answer. You can then embed your video as answers to these questions. Now, it's a good idea to research some questions on Quora related to your topic prior to creating your video, especially when you're creating your video strategy. And if you want to know more about the video strategy, check it out above and in the description below. The 8th way to share your video is through forums. So go to Google, type in the topic of your video or the industry that your video relates to, plus forums, and you can see all the multiple different forums that you could share your video. Before posting your videos, make sure you take a couple weeks or a couple months to actually do some real engagement with the people on these forums. You don't want to be that person that just keeps posting videos without actually doing any real engagement. So the next way to share your video is through Reddit. Now, you can find subreddits related to the topic or your topic of your video or the industry, but just like forums, remember to engage first and keep engaging, provide comments, answer some questions before actually posting your content. So the number 10 way to share and promote your video is through paid channels. Now, with organic reach declining in a lot of the social channels, you actually have to pay to reach their audiences. This includes examples like boosting Facebook posts, running full Facebook, Instagram ad campaigns, YouTube ads, Twitter ads, LinkedIn ads, and so on. And just like organic social posts, make sure to include captions, thumbnail, and different video sizes for the different social channels. The number 11 way to promote your video is through a channel called Outbrain or native advertising. Now, Outbrain is a tool that you can use to promote your video on all the major websites like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and so on. It's actually paid advertising portion at the bottom of the website that you might have seen before. One thing I would mention about Outbrain is that while you can get significant reach with the channel, your engagement levels may not be that high, but I usually use them as a retargeting tool where I can retarget people who've either viewed the video or landed on the website and retarget them with the different marketing messages later on. So these final ways of promoting your video actually are some of my favorite, syndicating and repurposing your videos to different mediums. So for example, can you turn your video into a podcast? So can you rip the audio from that video and then create a podcast from it, especially if you're doing a video type series? Now, there are some nuances obviously to creating a podcast, such as ensuring that you have a different intro, outro, as well as knowing how to host your videos and so on. But it could be a great way to reach a different type of audience who may not be interested in watching video, but rather consume your content through audio. The number 13 way to sharing your video could be turning your video into a blog post, especially if it has voice or dialogue. Now, what you can do is you can use a service like Rev.com. So in addition to getting captions, you can actually get transcriptions and turn those transcriptions into blog posts. Now, you do have to do some on-page SEO research, maybe change up the titles, put some headlines, put some subheaders, do that on-page SEO work, where then not only do you have an opportunity to rank on YouTube, you can also rank on Google as well. So now if you promote your content through a podcast and through a blog post, you'll be reaching all 3 mediums that people consume content. That includes watching videos, reading blogs, and listening to podcasts, all from one video. The number 14 way to share your video is to turn it into slides. So does your video include some infographics or some statistics that you can turn into a slide and then create different slides for them, share those slides on your social channels, as as well as you can upload these slides into Facebook and turn it into a slideshow. You can actually download that slideshow and turn it into another video. So your video can turn into slides that can turn into another video. So you have all these ongoing assets that you can create. So the number 15 way to share or promote your video would be to actually use your video outside of online. So what I mean is, don't get stuck thinking that you can only promote your videos or share them through your website or social channels. Remember that you can use these videos in your events, at your sales centers, and so on. Make sure that they're always being played. So to recap, here's all the ways that you can share or promote your videos that I talked about today. And I'll also include a checklist including all these tactics in the description below. So if you found this video helpful and you want to keep getting the latest tips and strategies on how to make the greatest impact with your video, hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And if you want to know more about creating a video strategy, watch this video here, as well as check out this video that YouTube wants you to watch. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in our next video.